Hey. Sorry. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. There's no need to look so nervous. I'm not planning on yelling at you or hurting you in any way. I just wanted to talk, that's all. I wanted to talk about, well, it seems a bit silly to say this considering it's been months, but I wanted to talk about how things ended between the two of us. I think that apologies are in order. Not from you this time. Don't get me wrong, what you did is still awful. What you did still infuriates me. But I've had a lot of time to reflect on things, my behavior and my reaction especially, and I think that, more than anything, I not only owe you an apology, but an explanation as well. That is, if you're willing to hear me out for now. Good. I was worried that I wouldn't get the chance to talk to you. I thought for certain that you'd be too angry to even want to speak with me. I'm glad that you're allowing me to sit beside you and talk things over. By the way, before we get this started, how are things going between you and Sasha? Yeah? Things are going well, huh? That's good. And, she isn't mad at you, is she? No, I wasn't given any indication that she might be. I was just making sure. I mean, you avoided breaking up with me for so long, and you were still seeing her. She loved you, very much. And she had to hide that. She had to hide what you two had while you and I were still together. So I just wanted to make sure that she wasn't holding on to any grudges. Yes, I'm working up to the explanation. It's just difficult, you know? It's been a while since we've spoken, and the last time we did, things really got out of hand, didn't they? Well, at least things didn't get physical. I'll admit I was tempted, very, very tempted, to smack you upside the head. But I knew that I had to restrain myself. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Look, I am still horrified about what you did, and I am still infuriated by it. But, to be honest, I really had no right to be so mad at you. I had no right to act so betrayed. 'Cause for what it's worth, I was in a similar position at that time. No, I wasn't. Here's the thing. I wasn't doing what you were doing, but I was hoping for something similar. I was deceiving you because I had feelings much like yours. I was seeking out a relationship when I was already in another one. I'm ashamed to admit this, but what I told you about training with Aaron because I view him as my brother, even though we're not in fact related, that was a lie. It was the first thing I could think of. To tell the truth, I was helping him train at first. Then one night, he was getting really upset. He was yelling, he was hitting himself because he couldn't do something correctly. heaven only knows what, I can't remember. But then, I tried to comfort him and he kissed me. He actually kissed me. Anyone can tell just by looking at the way I look at him. I've always been rather attached to him. People say that I'm in love with him. I am. The thing is, after that, he and I weren't really speaking, and I was begging him and pleading, practically getting down on my knees, just so that he would talk things out with me. That was the first time I neglected you. The first time you went to Sasha. At that point, I yelled at you because, well, I was angry at myself for doubting my love for you, and of course I was angry at you for what you'd done. But then, when I started neglecting you again, that's because Aaron finally agreed to talk things out with me. He finally said, "Enough is enough, Mikasa. You and I need to deal with this." He said that he'd been going over everything he'd ever felt for me, and what he did was a heat-of-the-moment thing. It wasn't going to happen again. And he told me that he would only ever view me as his sister, as some girl who grew up with the same parents and in the same household for a little while, as some girl who would play with him and his best friend when we were kids. And I can't deny that I was hurt by it. It stung. It stung really badly and for a long time. That's why it took me so long to get back to you. And then I think that I only reacted the way I did because I was mad at Aaron, and I was mad at myself. I was mad at myself for even thinking that I was better off in a relationship with someone else. I was mad at myself for hurting you, even though you didn't know it at the time. I was mad at myself for choosing a potential relationship with someone who doesn't love me over a wonderful relationship with someone who cares about me, cared about me, like no one else ever has. So, in the end, I am sorry. I am sorry for yelling at you. I'm sorry for shaming you. Granted, what you did was still wrong. What you did was not okay. But I was doing the same thing. I had no right to act like you were the only person at fault. And even with my lie, I should have talked things out with you. Had I really been neglecting you because I was taking care of a sibling, I should have talked to you about it and still made time for you. Or, better yet, I should have just forced Aaron onto the shoulders of someone else. I shouldn't have ignored you, had my lie been true. And since it wasn't, I should have told you what happened right away. I shouldn't have clung to the hope of being in another relationship when I was so happy with you. I think, and I'm not trying to blame you here. Believe me, I'm not. I think that after catching you with Sasha, and after Aaron kissed me, I thought it was fair. I thought that it could be considered payback. I was really, so angry at myself and you that I thought about cheating on you as payback. No. It isn't the same as what you did. You cheated on me because you were desperate. When a person is in a relationship, there are certain things that they can expect, such as being reminded and reassured of the other person's love. They can sometimes expect physical displays of affection, depending on a person's boundaries, and previously, you and I, we provided each other with both. Physical, verbal, any affection we could give the other. I deprived you of that. Yet we were still in a relationship. You had every right to expect it from me. Because I had promised to give it to you, and I didn't set any other boundaries that would indicate that I was no longer going to provide it. So, desperate, you went to Sasha. She loves you. She loves you just as much as I do, if not more so. I understand why you did it. I understand that it's different from what I did. It doesn't make it okay, but I understand. But what I did, it is inexcusable. Nothing that I can say can ever explain what I did. It was stupid, it was ignorant, it was downright careless. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I treated you like that. I'm sorry that I neglected you to favor another. I'm sorry that I made you feel guilty for doing the same thing. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I made it so difficult for you to end up with the woman you do love. Of course. I'm really happy that you and Sasha are together. You really are very good for each other. She brings out the fun-loving side of you. She helps you relax. She helps you take things a little less seriously. We need that around here. We really do. And you help bring out her more serious side. You help her understand that not everything can be a game. Not only that, but I've noticed that she's talking a bit differently. I can only assume that you gave her the confidence to not hide where she's from. You gave her the courage to unmask the person she really is. You have encouraged her to feel comfortable in her own skin, and you've helped her embrace her identity. And I've noticed the same about you. She brings out a different version of you. One that is certainly happier and, in my opinion, better. I've noticed that both of you have changed for the better ever since this happened. That isn't to say that what I did was right. I'm not saying that. I'm really not. I'm just saying that at least some good came out of this. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I think that I need a bit of a break from relationships like this for a while. To be honest, you and Aaron, I love you both, but you were distracting me from my goals. And that isn't your fault. It certainly isn't. It's my fault for not being able to manage my attention and divide it accordingly. So, from now on, I'm just going to be as I am. I don't need a partner, and I don't need really anything from you. Other than knowing that you heard my explanation and my apology. And do let me know if you need me to go over anything else. I'm glad. I do miss talking to you. I'm glad that you want to be friends now. And, for the record, I really do mean it. You and Sasha are perfect for each other.